Time is now 10 o'clock. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Roll call, Veronica.
Here.
Pauline Broder.
Here.
Judy Menard.
Here.
Lois Burlett.
Here.
And Zachary Rio is present. All right, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the first item on our agenda is approval of minutes from the June 21st meeting. Can I have a motion?
Who did that? Veronica and Lois?
Any questions or comments? All right, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, it is unanimous.
Ooh, look at that bad typing.
All right, up next we have the approval of the financial reports. We have check warrants from June, July, and August. Do we want to do those separately or together?
Doesn't matter to me.
Okay. All right, we'll do them in a block.
I move the check warrants, June, July, and August.
Perfect. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions or comments?
I'm gonna see, more of a split with the July budget, you see, would you say?
What do you mean?
You know, when it says, the payroll and things like that, did we, from month of July, have increases at all? Like in salaries or anything? I forgot.
No, we haven't even done the budget yet, so
Okay, so we'd see that later, maybe.
we'd see it when we
Okay,
can do the
perfect.
budget, and,
Yep.
I'll talk about that at the end of the MDT
Yeah,
statements.
I wasn't too sure.
Nope, that's fine.
Can I ask about, the July, was two things for pest control again, or that was not the same problem before?
One was bees, and one was, an apartment that the person didn't wanna move into until,
But no, bed bugs or anything like that?
no,
Great, thanks.
bees, we have bees here.
Yeah, the bees, that's,
Any additional questions? All right, hearing none. All those in favor? Any opposed? Hearing none. The vote is unanimous to approve the check warrants. All right, next we have the MMDT statement, again for June, July, and August. Can I have a motion? Second. Perfect, second. Any questions? Veronica? Any questions? Hearing none. All those in favor? Any opposed? So moved. The vote was unanimous.
So if I can, Zach, just before we move on to any correspondence, I've been in contact with Fenton and Ewald because I have not seen anything since our last meeting. So we haven't done the end of the year reports. They haven't given me anything. I've sent them stuff monthly. I've contacted Teresa. I don't know, Christy, did you check emails? Did she send anything?
nothing this morning.
Okay, so she sent nothing back. I'm gonna start calling the office and like really, because the budget is due. We haven't had the end of the year report for June. I haven't seen anything July and August. Well, August just went to her because it comes, the 15th of the month is when we get all our statements. So August is just gone, but I haven't seen anything for July. And I haven't seen anything for June, and I have consistently sent the information to them. I mean, since Chris's passing, It's been difficult to get them to respond to things, so I really don't know what to do. There aren't a lot of accountants out there who do DHCD work or EOHLC. So,
It may be worthwhile mentioning to them if they don't feel that they can take on this extra burden after Chris's passing, that would they like us to look further, and that we could do that and relieve them of that duty.
I will do that.
I would think by this time, they would have replaced her and been rolling around all right, but it's been almost a year, hasn't it, that she passed?
Mm-hmm.
We don't have any individual that's specifically assigned, correct?
At this point, we do not. It's been Teresa who's been doing it, but I'm not getting any response. And I know when we had to do the taxes, there was another person from her firm that was assigned to us for the tax purposes. But again, we're coming to the end of the fiscal year, not only our fiscal year here, but of the calendar year. And
Because it's gonna be our hands that get slapped by Boston,
Yeah.
you think?
in big time, yeah.
All right. Next order is correspondence. We have a performance management review from EOHLC. Lucy, I assume you're going to talk about that?
I'm just going to mention that we have it. It's not going to happen until December 1st. It'll be a visit. I don't know if it'll be on site or if it'll be through Zoom. We'll know when it gets closer. And I pushed for the last possible date that I could get, only because, again, this is a situation where we're lumped into the same categories as the larger housing authorities like New Bedford and Fall River, and expected to do the same things with limited personnel and limited time. It just doesn't work, but I have spoken with Pat Haddad to see if we can get a meeting with the new person who's head of, I don't know what they're calling it. I guess it's not just the EOHLC, but it's the overall. He was a former rep, and I'm trying to get a meeting with him just to let him know that being judged, that's like judging a family of 10, the same as a family of 2, the same as you would a family of 10. Financially, it's totally not reasonable. And to compare a small housing authority, whether it's Westport, Somerset, any small housing authority, to the larger housing authorities, and expect the same things to come out of us as comes out of a larger housing authority, it's just not realistic.
Especially with the limited amount of time.
Question. Is this the meeting that a couple of board members attended one time and they refused to conduct the meeting because we were here to hear what they were saying?
Correct. That's the one.
Okay.
Lucy, how do we stand with it just said, the only thing that I worried about was the certification and training criteria. Do they look at any of us since the last time they came?
Oh, sure they do, but don't worry about it.
We're all set though? I mean, I haven't taken anything online or anything.
I wouldn't worry about it.
No?
They're gonna,
I did it and they didn't acknowledge it. I sat there, went
Is
through
that
the
right?
whole thing, and then they never said, print this out, print that out, or anything else, so.
Oh, okay.
if their trainings were, I have somebody in Somerset, and Pauline, I'm sure you get it all the time, that they try to do the trainings, and the trainings aren't even applicable to a small housing authority,
The
which is,
person who was doing the training left to do another job, so I haven't gotten anything in a while.
Well, I didn't want us to be cited for that if you thought we should be doing something.
Lois, trust me,
Because-
this is not a hospital, we will be cited for everything.
The Trade Commission's not coming.
And one other question, does the Executive Office of Elder Affairs fall under this too, this new group, or is it still separate? Do you know?
There's, I do not know. Well, it doesn't fall under the executive office of, what is it, housing and
Yeah,
livable communities. It's basically the DHCD portion of that.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't know whether they put that underneath too.
Well, it's still in the same big framework,
Oh, it is?
whatever it is.
Okay.
Right tomorrow, let her know.
All right, we need a motion to file.
The correspondence, yes.
It's a file.
Second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, it's unanimous to file the performance management review. All right, next we have the director's report. Can I have a motion?
Move to file.
And do I have a second?
Second.
All right, questions and comments?
Oh, I don't know if we. Were you looking to
We did.
give David a new laptop and, was that this report? I'm getting mixed up with all of them.
That was probably in the EOHLC piece. I have a laptop that I can give, that David can use.
Okay, so he's gonna be all set. I know you had two things you needed, printer and a laptop. that
Well,
I
I'm not gonna
found
give him a printer, he
someplace.
can send it to us, but, we definitely can use the laptop for him, and I have it.
Yeah,
I just
okay.
have to put a program in it for him to use.
I didn't know. Okay. Oh, I don't know, did you talk about the benches from that front?
Yeah.
Am I on the right thing?
It makes sense that we can't.
Oh, we can't, okay. So I had just written down a few things that were left over, because it's been a couple of months now, you know? So, okay. I guess you address those things, the transfer of the person here and all of that? Okay, I won't go anymore.
I asked custodian of the laundry room, that has not been resolved.
Well, that's a good issue, because CSC was here last week, and they actually came in to measure and do all their thing. I've sent a notice to them, I told them I had a board meeting today, I have not heard back from them. If they sent anything yesterday, I was out yesterday, so I didn't get anything. Christie's shaking her head no.
Is that
So-
an additional, I mean, a new washer and dryer?
It'll be 2 new washers, 2 new dryers that they will own. What will happen is they'll collect, we'll get a percentage of the collection. So hopefully that will happen soon. And I did ask for the coin operated, not the cards, because we're not here enough to, and I don't feel comfortable with people having a card machine where they have to put their money in the card machine, and with nobody being here or, 24/7. And I just didn't feel comfortable with that happening here.
And unfortunately, though, the washer's been down since February, and the other one May. But again, we're at their mercy as to when they're gonna come.
Correct. And we tried to get other companies, and that didn't work either, so. But I'll keep on CSC, at least I have a contact there that I can email to or try to talk to, but hopefully that will be soon, since they did come down.
Appreciate that.
Any other questions or comments? All right, hearing none. All those in favor? Any opposed? All right, the vote is unanimous.
Ronnie
Veronica?
did, I don't know who seconded it. Okay.
All right, new business, Westport Police Department.
Yes, you do. You have a Yeti cup with something in it.
Excuse me. Ever consider at the end of the driveway here, putting a sign that says no left turn?
That would, you'd have, if it's buildings out on the highway,
Yeah.
that have to be the state,
Okay,
okay? Because it's a state road,
okay,
okay?
thank you.
Do people make left turns there?
Sometimes,
Oh,
remember Ernie? You had an accident with Ernie doing that.
All right. Next order of business, project 334048 for garage door replacement.
I move that we award to Full Scope Contracting, I assume these are in order, for the amount of $6,800.
So the painting project is the one that, are we on the painting project?
Well, which,
The first one was the
I
door
gave the way
replacement.
had them in our.
Okay, all right, so
don't-
go ahead. Well, obviously, you can see the painting project
Okay,
is
yes.
going on, and we had talked about that at the last
But the
meeting, so we're
first one-
okay with that,
First
so,
one listed is 334048.
Yep.
okay,
And that's the first one we have, and it's Full Scope Contracting.
Yep.
$6,800. I'm gonna read them all off at once, they need to be individual.
individual would help.
Okay. Okay, I move that one.
All right.
Just a second.
Do we have a motion?
Ronnie made the
Okay.
motion,
I made
so.
the motion.
Second? Do I have a second?
We can do this one.
I can't find the painting.
You don't
painting's
have the
not there.
painting.
You don't have, this is the one we're voting on right here.
I'll send it, I got some there, and they did that.
Judy seconded it.
All right, we have a second.
That's the one where, that's the first one
Oh, I
that
thought
says,
you said the painting.
yeah, it's already in process.
Can I just ask a question?
Yep.
I know we get all these contracts, right? And it's just the total amount that is being asked for you see it in the thing. But, I mean, I certainly am gonna say yes to everything, but I didn't know what type of work is being done for this amount of money.
That's the garage door replacement.
I know it's the garage door, but usually, you know, when you get something, it says, okay, bathroom floor, we're gonna put this on the floor, we're gonna do this on the floor. We don't have it broken down like that, so.
It doesn't come like that, it goes out to
Oh.
bid like that, but we don't get the contract like that. We're just asked to approve the contract. The bid is actually approved by either RCAT, they do the specifications,
Yeah.
or DHCD.
Well, it
So
just-
we don't vote on the specifications, we vote on the project, assuming that DHCD has done, the EOHLC, sorry,
Yeah.
has done their due diligence as well as RCAT. Usually they're in contact with me. For example, on this one, and the contractors can come out and view it and make, decide how they're going to do it. On this one, because our garage door is such an odd size, it is not a normal garage door. So they've been in to look at how the rollers are going to work, what they have to do to make, they're gonna have to custom make the garage door, basically, which, is why it's $6,800. I've been happy with Full Scope. They've been down already 3 times to look at the job. They brought, the manufacturer in to do the measurement and things like that. So, I don't see an issue with them, but when it goes out to bid, it goes out to bid with,
The itemized, that's what I was, and if you need more money for any one of these projects, is it available for you, Lucille? I mean, if something comes up,
the garage door is an ARPA project, so that's ARPA money, so that's not our money, that's actually construction money that's been given to us by DHCD, or available to us by DHCD out of the ARPA funding. So this one, yes, we would be able to,
get more money for you,
if we needed it.
yeah. Because I
I-
didn't know how much the countertops are and all of that.
Oh, that's different.
That's another story.
Oh, that's another story.
That's another
Just
story.
do this one,
Just
the
Yep.
garage door.
And Judy seconded that.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, all those in favor of approving this? All right, any opposition?
If I can just go back to the garage door, I just want the board to understand that the door that we have now springs up. I almost broke my arm on it, so I can't imagine, it just flies up. So this will be a great, big improvement as to what we have, so that no one does get hurt there.
Okay. All right, so the vote was unanimous to approve. Okay.
Yep.
Moving on, we have a bathroom floor repair for apartment 2C. It looks like it's going to be 6,800 as well.
No,
No?
72.
Mines were out of order.
Yeah,
they
mine
were.
was
They
too.
were.
Okay.
I
S-
move the awarding to M&C Building LLC for the bathroom floor repairs for $7,200.
Perfect. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the vote is unanimous to approve 7,200 for the bathroom repair to M and C building. All right, next we have the kitchen cabinets countertop placement, apartment 6E. The approval will be in the amount of 6,800, again to M and C building. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Questions and comments? Lois, did you have a question about that?
No, I just, because I didn't see the itemized bid, and I was just wondering if Lucy needed more money, or, you know. 'Cause
This-
there's always a chance that these can change, right? The
Right, and that would be a
price.
change order that the board would have to approve.
Right.
But just so the board is aware, this one and the 7,200 one are coming out of our money. We're not getting money for these. These are things that, that there was no money available for that. These are things that we have to repair before we can,
Right.
well, yes, the one on 6E is before it can be rented. The bathroom is because, it just needs to be fixed before somebody falls through the floor.
Is there an estimated time of when these are gonna be completed?
I know MNC, Mike has done a lot of work for us here. He did the other cabinets. I know he came and measured everything, so I'm assuming that he's waiting on the cabinets to come back.
I was gonna ask, are there delays in getting some of these building supply things, and how there's a backlog for some?
Sometimes there is, but Mike was able to go through, our cat at one time, who has a distributor. So it's been easier for us to get them, so hopefully it will be fine. I have not heard from Mike, but I will, check with what he has for a time schedule.
All right, any other questions? All right, hearing none, all those in favor of approve? Any opposed? All right, the vote is unanimous to approve the cabinets and countertops for apartment 6E in the amount of 6,800 to M&C Building LLC. All right, last on new business, we have parking signs for the office specifically. Lucia, do you want to
I will
talk
do
about
my
that?
best. So traditionally, the 4 parking spaces out here have been for office business. One of the residents has decided to park in that space. I do not, there's only so much I can say, so I have to be careful what I say here. But Ronnie, you've been on the board probably the longest. I mean, traditionally, that has been office parking. Do you have any recollection of them just designating it as such?
Never.
Okay,
Isn't
and
there a
I,
sign up front that says office?
it says office with an arrow. What we're proposing is to put up a new sign, to put up a new sign that says parking for office business only. When you have board meetings, I know, and not that I need a parking space because I'll park anywhere,
I did. I needed one.
and you didn't have one. I don't know, just the camera person parked there, so that was, yeah, you're fine. But none of the board members could park out here because of the
I
way
used to,
things.
when I was chair, I would pull in if there was, you know. but
Right,
you
or when
folks-
you come to
folks
sign
that come
checks,
in to
or when
sign or
people-
whatever, I park.
Or when people
Yeah.
come to the
Yeah.
office. I mean, right now, what?
I did park there today.
Well, that's good. I mean, David doesn't even have a parking space. He's parking down near between building 3 and building 4 at this point because he doesn't feel comfortable parking there. But I will give the Arcat, I will give Joe credit because when he comes in, he pulls right in that first spot. So, but it should be available for office business. There are times when we have multiple cars here for office. Christie, I don't know where you parked today,
I parked over to give more space for,
board members. So we need the spaces for office business, and we have plenty of parking for residents. So what I'm asking is that
Who's
the,
entitled?
what I'm asking is that the board, propose that the parking sign be put up on the pole and it say for what does it say, for office business only?
So it's basically just replacing the sign that's currently there.
Yes, except it's gonna be higher and we're gonna do it that way. And, the person who is parking there was asked to call the office when he moved because we did allow him to use it as he was moving stuff, but he's never called the office to get a new sign. Is that correct? To get a new spot?
right, so, well, as far as I am aware, a call was never placed to use it to move in, we just assumed
That he was
it was
using?
being used just to be while moving in, but now that the person is in.
Is his old parking spot available to him?
The old parking spot is
Yes,
available.
because technically.
That's
we
what
never
was
changed
assigned. They are all assigned a parking spot.
Correct.
it. Right,
So
so
he-
the tenant has an assigned parking
He has,
space.
which he's not utilizing.
Correct. The other issue is there are times when David does take his truck to different places, and that is this
That-
area is where he needs to unload because it makes it easier for him to get his,
But wherever David is parking is no concern of anybody else. He is an employee here
right.
who has authorization to be parked there if needed, or if he needs his truck
Well,
somewhere
that's
else
what I'm
to
just
move.
saying.
Yeah,
that-
but
that
I'm
would
saying,
fall
that
under
should-
office business parking,
right,
that he can unload his belongings or, you know, the supplies that he went to pick up.
Yeah.
Would make it easier if there was more
Area.
accessibility, yeah.
All right, so with that said, can I have,
One other thing, the sign that's currently there says office with an arrow. I discussed with David taking it and maybe placing it after the building's been painted somewhere, because it does have an arrow to show which door to go into, which
putting
would
it by
be
the
this
building,
door.
yeah.
So there would be a new sign for parking, and then the sign that's there that says office with an arrow, will still use that somewhere else, just to show
Hmm.
that this door is where you go for the office.
Makes sense.
Okay, sorry.
no problem.
No, please, you do
I
the
like that.
parking.
All right, so I'll entertain a motion to change that sign and then also use the current sign to designate where the office is. I have a motion.
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Any questions?
I just have a question about the person that's parking there. Even if you change the sign, what's gonna stop him? There needs to be some kind of, I don't wanna say punishment, but, you know, it's for office business only, others will be told, I mean, whatever legally that you can do, because Nothing's gonna stop them from parking there, obviously. We know the issues. So a sign is one thing, and I agree with the sign, but
I think I have to let that play out a little bit until other things are taken care of. I mean, I can't,
yeah, I know, that's fine, I get it, but I'm just saying in the whole legal thing, most places have a sign that will say, you can't park here, and if you do, you're gonna be told. I think that's a legal thing to do, isn't it?
It can't be a legal thing to do, but then if you are gonna tow it without a sign that says, towed by the owner's expense,
Mm,
then it comes into your expense for the tow.
okay, that's a good point.
well, and I'm wondering, Barry, too, because we're private property,
Right.
how,
So because it's private property, anything that has to be towed, you have to notify the police department that you're towing the vehicle, who's given the authorization for the tow. And then there are businesses around town that have, for their patrons only, be towed at the owner's expense. When that happens, when they do tow it, they have to come down and notify us that they towed it. There's some things that who the tow company you used, all that other stuff has to be brought to the police, or notified to the police station. Okay, and then, but if you don't have it as, towed by the owner's expense, if it's just private property, usually the property owner is liable for the tow.
okay, thank you.
Can the person be ticketed though?
Private property, it's very, that's something I don't think we can do because it's private property.
Fall River does, I got a ticket in Fall River on private property.
I don't know, I'm not 100% positive, I'd have to check with, about that, okay?
Like,
I know we could do handicap spots on private property,
Mm,
but I don't know if we can do something like unauthorized parking, that's all.
All right. Any other?
no, I was gonna say, I agree with Lucia, we're gonna take it one step at a time. I think if we put the sign up there and sort of depend upon common sense prevailing,
Good luck with that.
and if it doesn't, then at the next meeting, then we should discuss further,
Take it further.
Yeah,
discuss further how we would handle it.
whether, yeah,
Yeah,
whether we
can't
impose
do
a
that
fine or
right
something.
now, but let's see if it's acknowledged.
All right. We had the first, second, all those in favor? Any opposed? All right, the vote is unanimous to put up the new parking sign for the office, as well as use the old sign to designate where the office is located. Old business.
And there's nothing that I could remember to bring up.
I think we've already answered the questions that were had,
Yeah.
washers and so forth.
All right, commissioner comments?
Don't all talk at once.
Nothing, all right. Tenant comments?
Yeah,
All right.
when you do put the new office sign, you said you're gonna put it on the pole, but make sure it's high enough so that people can see, cause a lot of applicants would come, they've asked me, where's the office? So,
We did discuss that already, us with snow piling up, that the sign will go up as far as we can get it.
okay. I don't know if you wanna have a bigger sign too, cause like the one you have with the arrow is small.
Christie, do you want to just get the sign to show?
Hang one from the roof on this. Nobody does that.
Unfortunately, this isn't a comical,
I agree though, everybody that comes in here, where's the office? They go to my building, and is the office? I said, no, the sign's over there, it says office, it's that building. But they all look like houses. so-
this is everywhere. Every housing authority has the same issue. Somerset has the same issue. I tell them buy the
Just
flagpole.
because you have a sign posted doesn't mean people read the sign,
Right.
because constantly tenants are asking, can we have a sign that says tenant parking only at each parking space? But where I sit in the Somerset office, I can view one particular spot, and all day long there's another vehicle in that spot, and it's always, I'll only be a minute, I didn't see the sign, or they just ignore you, so.
And the sign is high
Sign
enough on the
just-
pole.
Hopefully people will read the sign,
Yeah,
but there's no guarantees that they even read it or hear about it.
right.
So it's gonna go up high, like I said, as high as we can get it, and then move the one that says office a little bit higher up and on the building, so that way people know that the office is here, because I've had people not know that this building looks different than all the others. I told them to
Yes.
come in, it's the building straight ahead, looks different than all the others, and they still don't know where the office is.
Okay.
Any additional tenant comments? All right. Hearing none, our next meeting will be on October 18th of 2023. And then I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right,
Judy and Ronnie.
all right, we are adjourned.